welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we're going to discuss the topic of ethics and environment.
Where two cases will be discussed, which is PDADA and US versus Wissenhoff.
PDADA Plantation and Industry is a palm oil company in Indonesia. It is a subsidiary of Kuala Lumpur Kepong Berhad, KLK. So now, without further ado, let's watch a short clip regarding this case.
Set fire to the land so that we can replant all the palm oil. Burning is the best benefits for us to get a nutrient-rich layer to cultivate and fertilize all our crop. So this is the most beneficial way for us.
But boss, it is illegal to use slash and burn method, as we are large-scale palm oil producer.
Just do it.
Okay, I will order then the proceed lah. However, it accidentally caused forest fires. The smoke produced even blanket Malaysia and Singapore that caused a very serious air pollution. The Malaysian manager of plantation company PDADA, Dana Basharan KR Singnam, violated Article 99, subsection 1 of Environmental Protection and Management Law 2009. You are negligent in your supervisory role of the estate as you fail to prevent the responsible parties from stepping into the estate and setting the fires. So, you will be sentenced to a year in jail and required to pay Rupiah 2 billion. Or, you can choose to serve an additional 2 months jail. The director of PDADA, Tan Kay Yong, was to be jailed for 5 months as well. However, the company PDADA was also found guilty of violating the same offense, had to pay Rupiah 1.5 billion fine for environmental damages caused by the fires. It is a very interesting case, right? So now let us invite our special guest Chang Ting and Xue Ting to explain and relate the case to ethics.
Hi everyone, I'm Chang Ting. So in this case, utilitarian theory from ethics under teleological theories, which weighted all the consequences of an action that will result in possible balance of good over the bad, can be applied. PDADA did not assess the consequences of the action toward environment, human health, and animal in using these illegal slash and burn methods in land cleaning for cultivation. It will not only affect the air quality within that area, but the haze will spread to the other countries, such as spreading from Riau to Malaysia and Singapore. Bad air quality will affect human health, such as causing respiratory symptoms. This method will also harm the animals because they will lose their habitat and do not have any food to eat. PDADA did not fulfill the first thesis of consequentialism under utilitarian principle because it will cause harm as a whole. They did not think about hedonism in considering an individual happiness and others' pain, and did not fulfill maximalism because they did not consider the bad consequences. Lastly, they also did not consider about universalism because they don't even think about the consequences towards the majority. All these bad consequences has outweighed the only good consequence in earning more income. This is considered as an unethical action according to utilitarian theory. PDADA should also conduct cost-benefit analysis in their business to analyze the positive and negative effects of their actions towards each individual. They fail to apply Bentham classical theories and application because their action is badly affecting the whole world and unable to give more happiness in the long run. Hence, this action is not a good action. Next, environmental ethics is also applicable in the case of PDADA. The main objective of a business is to gain profit. However, business must also have the social responsibility to protect the environment and enhance the society interest. The action of PDADA in using slash and burn method should be prohibited because it will cause harm to the environment and pollute the air quality. PDADA should preserve the environment and ensure the quality of life of the society before taking any action. PDADA should also obey the ecological ethics, which claim that the welfare of at least some non-humans is intrinsically valuable. With that, human has a duty to respect and preserve them. PDADA failed to respect the gift of nature because the method used are basically burning the forest in order to make the land more fertile so that they can produce more cultivation. However, it will cause harm to the environment. Burning the forest will destroy the gift of nature, which is our mother earth, because burning will raise the earth temperature and cause environmental changes at global level. Increase in global temperature will lead to greenhouse effect and global warming, which will cause the rising of temperature, melting of ice cap, fires, and flood. Global warming will also cause soil degradation and affect the desertification of the most arid areas on the planet. We as the citizen has to fulfill our responsibilities towards our Mother Earth as a global citizen so as to protect our living planet from deterioration.
Hi everyone, I'm Chong Ting. So in my opinion, the stakeholder theory could also be applied in this case. The PTADI manager did not well exercise the stakeholder theory from the normative perspective. This because the forest fire which caused by the PTADI could affect the health of the society and harm the environment as a whole. For example, the haze which caused by the forest fire could irritate the respiratory system of the humans, causing the eye sore problem, worsen the chronic heart and the lung diseases. The welfare of the society should be protected because there could be any of the stakeholders of the company, such as the employees, the creditor, the customer, as well as the local community. The PTADI manager should do the decision which is morally right and do not harm any others for his self-interest. This theory has emphasized on the corporate responsibility in taking care of the well-being of the stakeholders. The company are said to have the serious duties in taking care of the net good in society based on the kind and need of duty theory. The business should voluntarily spend on advancing the welfare of the society as well as protecting the environment. So in this case, the burning of land in Indonesia which caused by the negligence of the manager in PTADI has already shown that company did not well aware of their corporate responsibility in protecting the environment. The slash and burn method which used by the company could harm the society and the environment, such as causing the air pollution issues and also the global warming issue. Besides that, the stakeholders should be treated based on the underlying moral or philosophical principles. So in this case, the burning of forests for the planting use is not a morally right action because there are so many bad impacts could be resulted from this action, including the welfare of the society being affected and the environment being destroyed as a whole. So the manager of PTADI is being irresponsible and unethical for allowing the setting of fires in route to clear off the land. These actions could affect the health of the society as a whole due to the severe haze problem. In a nutshell, the corporation should not only focus on the maximizing of the profit but also the interests of the stakeholders and the environment as a whole. The illegal slash and burn method which used by the PTADI in clearing off the land is said to be harmful towards the society and the environment as a whole. The manager of PTADI should always think of the good consequences and the bad consequences before taking any actions and ensure that the good one is always outweigh the bad one. The manager of PTADI should always practice the environmental and ecological ethics in protecting the environment and enhance the society interests. Protecting the environment is said to be essential and compulsory for the company to take care of. The PTADI and the parent company KLK should take the initiative to conserve the ecosystem and the biodiversity. They should manage the effect of the firm's operations towards the environment. The activity of burning of land should be prohibited by the company, and they should highly strict in exercising the zero burning policies. Instead of burning the land, they could choose to use other methods such as chip the trees and spread them as the biomass which acts as the fertilizer. And as the planting companies, they should also be well equipped with the firefighters in their estates, and the patrol should be carried out frequently to ensure that there is no any forest fire which caused by the dry and hot weather. So all in all, the company should be concerned of the well-being of the society and the community as a whole as well as the environment while they are carrying out their operations.
Bravo, Chanting and Shating, on the interesting explanation given. And you even included a recommendation done. Now, without wasting any time, I believe you guys are curious about the second case. So let's watch a short clip.
Wiesenhoff and Mariani were managers at East Honolulu Community Services sewage treatment plant in Hawaii.
In year 1988, they instructed their employees to do something illegal.
Just throw the excess generated from the plant treatment into the ocean here. is in the middle of the night, no one will notice.
He showed a point that will bypass the sampling apparatus system, where the government of US will not be able to monitor the waste dumped.
Soon after.
I suspect that East Honolulu Community Services had sewage emission, and they misrepresented the origin of sewage dumping, as well as the sampling records. Okay, I will look in it.
After getting the complaint from the lifeguards, the inspectors from the Department of Health started to investigate and found there are evidence on the non-biodegradable waste dump into the ocean has exceeded the permit allowed.
Weizenhoff is the one who forced me to do so and told me to keep quiet. I have no chance but to follow.
Yes, we ordered them to do so, but we thought it is justifiable under NPDES permit. So, it is not my fault.
Two of you are violating the Clean Water Act. You have been charged with an offense to knowingly violate any permit, limitation and condition. As you are aware that you are discharging waste, according to the law, a criminal sanctions is appropriate if the defendants are knowingly engaged in a violation conduct.
After holding them liable, one of the defendants has challenged an upward adjustment in which he made a prejudiced testimony where it is a falsehood statement during the trial.
Hey, I know the second case is also interesting. Now let me invite the two other guests, Hanwei and Jaewei, to explain this case by relating it to the ethics theory.
Hi everyone, I'm Hanwei. Now I will explain this case using Aristotle's virtue ethics theory. This is a theological theory in which the basic assumption is that morality is both necessary and vital for human beings. Based on this theory, humans should aspire to be virtuous people. There is no fixed or standard guidelines on how to be a virtuous person. Aristotle reasons that if we can just focus on being a good person, the right actions will follow effortlessly. Hence, virtue ethics emphasize an individual's characteristic rather than just follow a set of rules. By practicing good characteristics such as honesty, courage, self-control, or fairness, a person can become a virtuous person and will make the right choice when facing ethical dilemmas. In this case, we could analyze the behavior and action of reasonhood and morality from the characteristic below. First, integrity. In this case, both managers do not show integrity as they have claimed that they thought they was justifiable under their NPDES permit, but in fact, they are aware that they were violating the permit terms to dispose of the waste. Second, fairness. Both managers' actions are not fair to other sewage treatment plants in other areas, as all of them are only allowed to dispose of the amount of the waste permitted by the government. Disposing more waste than others indicates that the sewage treatment plant does not treat most of the sewage well, and this will reduce the cost of operation. Such action is not fair to other sewage treatment plants. Third, self-control. In this case, both managers do not have self-control as they wouldn't instruct their employees to dispose of the waste by passing the sampling apparatus system if they have self-control. From the characteristic analyzed above, we can say that both managers are not a virtuous person as they do not practice good characteristics in their actions. According to this theory, they should become a virtuous human being by exercising good characteristics, and they will perform good action effortlessly and find happiness from their actions. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Jaewei. So next, I would like to share my point of view from the perspective of Kant's ethic duty theory. This theory is another deontological theory which insists that an action is morally right if and only if the actor is motivated by goodwill in fulfilling the duty, and is a non-consequential theory. In this case, both defendants are knowingly aware of their action of dumping waste directly into the ocean, even though they claim that they are permitted under the NPDES. The action is not confirmed by moral principles, as the dumping of waste into the ocean is immoral, in which it will jeopardize the Melanesian ecosystem. The defendants do not obey the regulations set by NPDES. They unethically misrepresented the actual amount of waste being discharged into the ocean. This action is seemingly unethical and is motivated by a bad will to fulfill self-interest. The first categorical imperative from Kant ethics theory is based on the universal law, where one should act only according to that maxim. Maxim is an act that everyone always does in such circumstances to solve something. It is a common knowledge that everyone knows that is true. In this case, one of the defendants did provide prejudiced testimonial in the trial, so it shows that the defendant did not act in accordance to the maxim, where lying is commonly forbidden. Also, both defendants have disobeyed the Clean Water Act. Ocean polluting is an universally immoral action. Defendants were aware that they polluted the ocean, but still doing so and claim themselves under NPDES. They have disregarded the maxim of society on environment protection. The second categorical imperative is based on humanity theory, where one should treat other people in a good will rather than make use of others to fulfill our own interests. In this case, both defendants didn't treat the humanity of the employees in a good will. They ordered the employees to conduct the wrongdoings on behalf of them, and they threatened the employees to not disclose this incident to anyone else, or it will get all of them into the trouble. Kant's theory also implied imperfect duties. Imperfect duties are when we can assist others in need or help others to realize happiness. In this case, both defendants have neglected the health of other human beings and living things. Excess dumping of waste into the ocean will affect the marine quality and harm the humans who consume it. The action has led to negative imperfect duties, where it does not help others to realize happiness.
In conclusion, as rational human beings, we will always practice good characteristics and perform actions that adhere to moral principles. By applying Kant's ethics of duty theory and Aristotle's virtuous ethics theory, we should know what are the good characteristics that we should practice to have and what are the actions that we should do to conform to moral principles and become a virtuous person. In this case, both managers should think about what are the good characteristics that they should have and whether their action is morally right or wrong. In addition, the corporation should promote an ethical environment in the organization. This could encourage the employees in exercising ethics and morality when performing their works. It could also reduce business costs due to lawsuits or stealing of goods and promote integrity among the employees, as well as improving the reputation of the corporation. In this case, Weatherhood and Mariani should play their role as the manager of several plants in promoting an ethical environment in the workplace. Based on the concept of two pillars of ethical leadership, they should act as ethical leaders by having a code set of ethics values and acts on them, as well as establishing an ethical environment in the business. As such, the employees will follow and apply ethical behavior in their work as an ethical corporate culture has been formed. That's all from me, thank you.
Thank you, Han-Wei, for your explanation. Jie-Wei, do you have any recommendation to add on?
Yes, from my point of view, the sewage plant firm should establish a corporate governance department and setting up a whistleblowing program. Since both managers have the intention to dispose of the excess waste bypassing the sampling apparatus system, the employees are facing an ethical dilemma and there is nobody that they can report to except the legal authority. However, they might be fired by the managers if the legal authority does not discover the evidence of disposing excess waste. Hence, setting up a whistleblowing program could encourage the employees to report to the corporate governance department when there is any unethical behavior in the organization, and the department could investigate the case immediately. Thus, an ethical corporate environment can be formed.
Thank you, Han-Wei and Jie-Wei. Okay, now, so sadly, that our YouTube video had come to an end. But don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our video if you think I'm free. Thanks guys, bye!